Welcome friends, it's Ray. Thank you so much for joining me today. In today's video, I want to do something slightly different. I am using, on top of my white card stock, the A7 waffle flower block stencil. I'm using a piece of mint tape that I'm taping down on my panel, right underneath my first two, or to the right of my first two blocks on the color block stencil. And that is because I want to use this left area, those two blocks, or really four blocks, to stamp a large silhouette image. Okay, so I use my stencil to position my image, but then I take it up because I don't want this left side of my panel that's taped off to be color blocked at this stage. In addition to color blocking, we're also going to use the Emboss Resist technique to create this 5x7 card. Here I applied some anti-static powder and some black Versaclear Nocturne ink, and am going to stamp this several times until I get a really solid black impression. I'm using my dry eraser just to smooth out that impression. I love to use what's in my stash, and I hope that's what you're doing too, instead of continuously buying products. So I'm always going back trying to use what I have. I will be sure to list all of the products I use in today's video over on my coordinating blog post, along with more pictures, so be sure to check that out. Here I'm bringing in some clear embossing powder, and then I'm going to use my heat tool to heat set. My card is a part of a hop over on Instagram. Join me over there so that you can hop along and see all the beautiful creations by other creative designers who share a wealth of creativity. It's definitely a Postage Collage mania party over there. I'm going to do some more inking on my panel, so I'm placing it back in my MISTI and placing my stencil over top and trying to secure that down. It's a little warped, but I will make it work. Placing my stamps over on the right the right column, the two boxes, and just adding some individual wildflowers. I'm applying my anti-static powder, and we'll stamp the images 2 to 3 times here. I'm applying some clear embossing powder, and I will use my heat tool to heat set this. I'm going to place my panel and my stencil back in my MISTI, same setup here. I'm bringing in more images from this Hero Arts kit stamp set. I'm bringing in the grasshopper, the snail, butterfly. I think those are the three that I decide to use here. I also bring in a small image of some loose dandelions blowing in the wind. Ink those up and go ahead and stamp them. I don't think I used my anti-static powder again, but it worked. And here I'm applying clear embossing powder to those newer images. I will use my heat tool to go ahead and heat set those images. Here I'm adding my panel to my grip mat and my We Are rotating platform, adding the stencil over top, adding some stronger tape to the edges just so nothing shifts, because I'm going to be doing a lot of inking. I'm bringing in my ink palette. This is a Hero Arts reactive ink palette, and love all the colors here. They go well together. And this is Thistle, and then Taffy, Creamsicle, Lemon Drop, and Key Lime Fizz. Love this combination together, and because they're on the same palette, you know they work well together. So I'm bringing this in using my blending brush, and it looks a little splotchy at first, but just hang with me. It is definitely going to get better. So I'm applying each color. I'm trying to tap off. I've got a cloth up above my rotating platform, and trying to use that to get some of the ink off, but I do need more ink than what's on my brush. So I am just going down that palette and applying each color in the order that's on the palette. And creating my my background. I love this. Love this. It's so easy. I didn't have to decide which colors to use. So after the yellow, that last color I'm going to bring in is green. And look at how this embossed resist is turning out. I am loving this. And I am just working this panel and repeating and going over my colors to blend them together. And again, this is going to dry back really, really pretty. The colors are so rich at the end, so stick around to make sure you see those. And now for the reveal. Oh, lovely, lovely. This is the look I was going for. I did think about that whole left section, you know, making it one without the color blocking, but I'm glad that I went in the direction that I did, because I love the color blocking. I'm going to take a waffle flower A7 layers die and cut out my panel. This die size is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, so it's going to fit nicely on my 5x7 card base. So what do you think of the color combo and how it blended out and blended together? Let's talk in the comments. Let me know what you think. So my sentiments were already pre-cut. I use this waffle flower, what is it called? The dies, and this is Sweet Lattice Sentiments. I love it. It's got lots of pretty sentiments in it. And so this was already pre-cut, all of these. And I'm just going to put those together and get those on my card, and I'm almost done because I already had these pre-stamped, my sentiment pre-stamped, and then I already had these cut, you know. And that's something you can do when you're sitting in front of the TV at night. Just prepare some of those, or some of your sentiments, and get them cut out. Even if you don't have matching dies like this, you know, you can cut them out on rectangles, squares, circles, the like, or at least get them pre-stamped and have them ready, and you can then decide later how you want to cut them out, and then just affix them to your. I'm going to trim this down a little bit because I pre-stamped my logo in the vertical position, but my card is horizontal. So instead of restamping, I'm going to use this same card base and just cover. So I'm partially releasing the double-sided tape that I've added to the back of my panel, and then I will add liquid glue, and this is just so that I have time to get my panel adjusted on my card base exactly where I want it, and then I can continue removing the release paper and commit my panel to my card base. And here I'm bringing in my sentiment and positioning that where I want it on my panel. Then I'm going to apply some liquid glue and go ahead and commit it to the panel. I'm bringing in some Crystal Gems by Studio Katia. I'm placing these in a zigzag fashion because that's going to follow the rule of threes in a sense, because it's going to put them in like a triangular order, which is what I'm going for, so that they're not all consistently lined up, but they're creating interest. That finishes my card today. I love the way it turned out, and now here you can see how the ink colors blended so well and dried back. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you liked the video, and if not a subscriber, will subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Until next time, good day, friends.